With the first pick in the 2010 NBA Draft, the Washington Wizards select John Wall. The Cleveland Cavaliers select Kyrie Irving. The Washington Wizards select Kwame Brown.
Hi, I'm Ben Spicer of Wannabe Draft Analyst. On this episode, we have a bit of change of scenery, and today I'll be looking at Louisville's forward Montrezl Harrell. In my opinion, Montrez is one of the most explosive players in this year's NBA draft, but it's going to be interesting to see how he can transition into the NBA because he doesn't have any extraordinary skills. We're going to be taking a look at some of his credentials and information, and then I'm going to get into some of his video highlights. Montrezl Harrell was primarily a power forward in college at the University of Louisville, but he also split time at center on occasion. He doesn't have great size at 6'8", and that's going to be one of the biggest concerns translating his game into the NBA, in my opinion. He does have a 7'4" wingspan, which could allow him to defend some bigger guys in the NBA. Montrezl Harrell has shown the capability at times to be a solid scorer, but he's not going to be a guy that's going to score 20 points a game in the NBA. He does have the ability to score, particularly in the low post, but his lack of size at 6'8" could be a problem if he stays at power forward in the NBA. It's probably likely that he will, because he's not really going to be able to stretch the floor at the small forward position. It is worth noting that his shot percentage improved every year at the University of Louisville, so it'll be interesting to see if he's able to do that in the NBA as well, and if he could add a mid-range game or something like a three-point shot to complement his inside presence as well, and to make him more of an asset in the NBA. Like most big men, passing is something that can certainly help Montrezl Harrell in his NBA game. He has shown the ability to pass the ball effectively at times in college, but he's probably not going to draw a lot of double teams in the NBA, so he's going to need to work on his passing ability to succeed. One of Montrezl Harrell's best abilities in college was his ability to grab offensive and defensive rebounds, which you'll see in these highlights here. He doesn't have great size at 6'8", like we mentioned previously, but his wingspan allowed him to pull down boards over taller defenders at times. It'll be interesting to see how he can translate that rebounding ability to the NBA, where guys will be much taller and stronger than they were in college. He's been compared to Kenneth Faried by several media outlets, and of course Kenneth Faried is known for his great rebounding ability. So I think it'll be one of the things to watch for in Montrezl Harrell's career is how well he's able to rebound the ball in the NBA, which is definitely something that's important at that level. Another one of Montrezl Harrell's great qualities is his ability to play defense and bring some intensity to the defensive side of the ball. He could be someone who sets the tempo off the bench perhaps in the NBA in his first few years, coming in and making crucial defensive stops. Like we mentioned in the rebounding segment, he has been compared to Kenneth Faried, who excels not only rebounding the ball but playing defense as well. So we'll see if Harrell is going to live up to that comparison. He says he's his own player, he doesn't like the comparisons, but defensively Harrell is a great player, at least he was in college. So it's going to be interesting to see, despite him being undersized, if he's able to defend some of the bigger guys in the NBA if he does indeed stay at the power forward position. The biggest concern about Montrezl Harrell is probably his size. Although that's something he can't really improve on in the NBA, it's something that might keep teams from drafting him. Some of his biggest weaknesses are his consistency. He hasn't shown the ability to shoot well from mid-range and deep in his career, although he has improved significantly over the past few seasons. He still hasn't added a level of consistency to his game that would allow him to succeed night in and night out in the NBA. Another struggle that he's shown throughout his career is his free throw shooting, as his percentage has hovered at around 50 throughout his career at the University of Louisville, and that's something that's just not acceptable in the NBA. So his consistency and free throw shooting are two things that he definitely needs to improve on, and those are his biggest weaknesses at this point in time. As you can see from the highlights in my analysis, Montrezl Harrell is certainly a different prospect in this year's NBA draft. He doesn't have any great qualities, but he's a player that could give solid minutes off the bench. It'll be interesting to see if at some point he's given the opportunity to be a starter in the NBA. I hope you enjoyed this episode of Wannabe Draft Analyst. On our next show, we're going to be taking a close look at the University of Kentucky's Willie Cauley-Stein. Stay tuned, it should be a great episode. Thank you for watching as always.